Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Of course, back here at Randall. Been a few weeks, but first things first. Randall, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. Newly engaged. How are you doing?
Not as well as you, apparently. Yeah, no, I'm good. It's starting to feel like summer up here in Canada, so I'm pretty happy. No complaints. We're still locked down, unfortunately, but hey, at least the weather's nice. But
We're
that's
gonna get
awesome.
you a satellite office down here in Austin. It's totally back to normal. There's no mention of COVID. There's no remnants of COVID. No masks. Everybody's having fun. Come on down.
Love that. Well, I appreciate the invite again. Congratulations on the engagement. Today I know
Thank you.
we're getting a lot of crypto questions, so we're gonna talk some crypto. Obviously in general, but definitely dive into the fun token. I figured maybe we start kind of general first. I mean, it's funny. I see a lot of questions. Bitcoin's doing its usual high volatility, up 10K one day, down 10K the next. We get a lot of questions about general Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm curious on your kind of outlook for the space. Obviously, you guys are doing a token, so I'm assuming it's very long-term focus, but I would love to kind of just hear your general insight on kind of crypto in general.
Yeah, this is not my first wave. It's not even my second, and so it's when you've been through this, I kind of equate it to children. That first kid you have, you're super anxious, like you think you're gonna break it, and like you think that everything's gonna go wrong, and then by your second or third kid, you're dragging your kids around by an arm, and like you're like these things are durable, like you get more comfortable. Same thing with crypto, like your first kind of bull market, you're like freaking out, panicking. You're trying to rush to the computer, and you can't access Coinbase because everything shuts down whenever there's like a massive move in the market, and everyone's panicking. And so, but by the second or third bull market you've been through, you don't even really get out of bed for it. You should be have a plan. In the Army we used to say plan the work and then work the plan. And so, people should just get educated. Anytime I love these bull markets and I love the subsequent bear markets. The real money is made in the bear market, right? So you have to research, anything that you think is meaningful to you. Ideally, you should understand what you're investing in. And then ideally build out your position when no one's paying attention. Warren Buffett's got that old quote, be greedy when everyone else is fearful, and fearful when everyone else is greedy. That's how you got to think about crypto in my mind. And so, people always ask me, it's something that'll be at an all-time high, and they'll start asking me about it. I was like, personally, I don't invest at all-time highs. If something has gone 2,000% in the last week, I'm just not a buyer for you. I just don't do it that way. And so I really, would encourage people to think about projects. The only thing that I think that is a little weird for me about this one is it's not following the cycle that I hoped we were going to follow. So you think about 2017, a lot of people equated that to the dot-com bubble. And so it was all the pretenders, and ideally, you had a bunch of scam artists, and nobody was really running a real business, and it all kind of went to zero. And then out of that, we were hoping that we would see what happened in 2004 with the rise of like enterprise plays. And so we were going to see the rise of enterprise crypto. I feel like we went the reverse. Now we got meme coins. It's like, not only are we not going to actually run a business, we're not even going to scam you that we're not running a business. We're just going to come up with a funny name and hope that it's a game of musical chairs, and somebody's going to get caught without a chair. But until then, we're going to make a bunch of money. It's crazy to me. And so, I don't know what the SEC is doing about that. Like this, like if the
Oh,
SEC was
it's
pissed
funny.
about
The
2017.
ICOs became DeFi tokens with, like you said, with as crazy of a name as you could possibly think. I'm sure I don't need to say them. We've heard a few of them that are crazy. And boom,
Exactly.
they
This
explode.
is a family. This is a family program. We can't. This is G-rated segment with Jason Coles today. So look, at the end of the day, it's not that much dissimilar than companies, though, right? Like I always tell people, right now, and this is where I think we differentiate. Maybe this is a good segue to PhunToken. For this industry to be something, you need real companies with real talent solving real problems in the real world. Right now, that is not happening, bar none. Nope, don't confuse it. Like when people go like, well, what can you do with it? Let me ask you a question. What can you do with any cryptocurrencies currently in your wallet right now other than Bitcoin and Ethereum? I guarantee you it's nada. And I guarantee you, most people don't even know what the cryptocurrencies were designed to originally do in the first place. Maybe storage or something like, okay, file storage, I can kind of get that. But like most of these things, nobody has any clue. They just heard somebody on some Reddit forum give them a token name. They figured I'm going to buy it and hopefully it'll win moon and I'll be able to like retire, in a week or two. And they have no clue what they're investing in. And so like, well, we've run into this a lot. Like as we think about, partnering or working with other folks in the industry, like, hey, maybe this is interesting. And then you pull back the onion and you're like, you don't get a response from these teams for 4 weeks and they have no sense of urgency. And I'm talking top 50 coins, top 10 coins even, and they have no real go-to-market strategy. They have no real sense of urgency. And that it sucks for the space, but it's also really neat because it provides an opportunity. And so we've been very, people are always asking us, when are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? And everybody is like rush. And they want everything to just kind of, win moon, right? For us, we have a 5-year plan. We have a 10-year plan. We're building an ecosystem here that will hopefully kind of underscore an entirely new data economy that is all built around contextual engagement. So how do I incentivize people to take actions that are going to drive profitable behavior? How do I use utility tokens to access features and functionality that will actually drive that engagement and make a human being a part of that conversation, so that it's no longer this idea of Facebook and Google just kind of doing data collection through surveillance. And now you can't even do it. We talked about this before the call with like, Apple and Google really looking at IDFA and saying, look, we're not going to do that anymore. We need to give more control over to the human being at the epicenter of all of this data collection and let them opt in or opt out. That's going to have a really big impact on how advertisers reach people. And so you got to have this conversation now. You got to have an ecosystem like the one we're trying to commercialize, where we say, hey, nobody is going to stop collecting your data. All we're trying to do is make you a part of the conversation. It's your data, it's your engagement. You should have a say in what is collected, what is shared, and if anybody's making money on it, you should too. And I think that's our basic hypothesis, is that we can leverage 12 years of experience building defining mobile applications and really cool mobile software that allows brands to engage you with the cryptocurrency and make you a part of that conversation.
Yeah, no, I love it. And we'll show a little kind of video on obviously how it works, and but extremely interesting. I love the fact that even before that you talked about utility. I always get questions, I'm sure you do too. And as people that we've got the scars from previous bull and bear markets. If you look at a coin and you see clear utility, okay, great, maybe that's a longer term thing. But if you don't, know that you're in it for usually a shorter term thing. So definitely kind of how you pick and choose is important, and that's kind of where the research should start. But yeah, moving into this, so we talked about kind of Apple and Google obviously moving to this whole, hey, we're not going to let apps just track what's happening. You have to actually engage with them. So talk me through kind of how you guys are going to work with some enterprises to use kind of the PHUNToken, and maybe kind of just a little bit more in general about that.
Yeah, great. I think what is really important that I think a lot of people don't understand, especially when they're building it. So taking a step back, if you think about Phunware as a company, and again, that's why our cryptocurrency, I think, should be more interesting to people, is because it's backed by a publicly traded company. We have a plan and the people and the resources in order to commercialize this. But as you think about our competitive advantages as a company, only one of them is kind of blockchain. The other two that I like to always comment on is our location software. So our ability to engage people both outdoors and indoors with real-time indoor positioning is a very impressive competitive advantage that we do better than most. And then we can also build mobile applications faster because we're not building them from scratch. We call it our modular application framework, but effectively, just like when you go to GoDaddy and you build a website using GoDaddy, you don't have to code it from scratch. You're using these templatized forms that have already been done. They're already stable, and it's kind of what you see is what you get. We do enterprise grade highly scalable, highly reliable mobile applications the exact same way. So you license our software to build your mobile application on, and we can deploy it faster, cheaper, more stable, more scalable than pretty much anybody else who has to build it from scratch. And so it's just like licensing a CRM from Salesforce. Why would you build that from scratch, license their CRM, and then you focus on your business? We think about mobile the same way. So mobile as a competitive advantage, location software is a competitive advantage, and the ability to white label kind of our blockchain enabled data exchange and loyalty ecosystem as a competitive advantage. I go back and I say that because it's important as you think about, how enterprises would use our system. Our umbrella platform is called MaaS, multi-screen as a service. Blockchain is just a feature, just like location is just a feature. And so I've used this example in the past with Carnival, where we were, one of our board members is Kathy Mayer. She's the former CDO, CMO of Carnival. We've talked a lot about this. How do you sell excursions every time someone leaves on a cruise ship? And she said, well, actually, you sell them the best the day you're leaving because everybody's excited to go. And so our platform, as it is today, can engage a user with really rich video and kind of encourage them to buy an excursion just by showing them a commercial. And we thought, well, why not take it one step further? Why not incentivize them to actually engage with that video? Why not get them to hit play and watch the video? And so by layering in blockchain as that hook, now they can actually, give them something in return for watching the video because they think it'll drive profitable behavior. The nuance there is how they see that video. How does that all come to be? And so in our world, it's called software development kit. So rather than telling Carnival they've got to go install a new app or redo their app or do a bunch of things, we don't do any of that. We say, look, they're going to have the exact same experience, the exact same application, the exact same release in Google and Apple's whether it's Google Play or the App Store, and you're just going to click on that button and you're going to get rewarded in cryptocurrency for engaging in that video. And what the brand is actually doing, they're just accessing our features and functionality. That's why it's a utility token. So we're saying, in order to do this rewarded video, you have to, it's going to cost, call it 100 PHUNToken. And the user, the person who's watching the video is going to get a portion of that cost to watch that rewarded video, because that's driving that contextual engagement. And so think of PHUNToken as unlocking all of these features and capabilities that we've been developing for years, but now it gives the user a reason to engage with them. Similarly, if we said, hey, you're here at point A, and maybe that's the bar, and we want you to go to point B, which is the casino, and you go there, our existing platform, our existing technology manages that, where you are in time and space, how long is your dwell time, but we'll unlock that feature and reward the user with cryptocurrency. Now everybody, all the relevant stakeholders, have a dog in the fight now. And I think that's what's really exciting is, the future of engagement is contextual. You want to know who you are, where you are, what's around you, and what's important to you and what's important to the brand. And we can take all of that and we can run that through PHUNToken, through this SDK construct. And actually, we can take a pause right now and actually show people this video of it in action. We have basically a sample app that we like to give developers to play with called Spoonful, and it'll walk through kind of how you can think about it, where you're existing in that third-party app. It's actually white labeled, so it won't even be PHUNToken if you don't want it to be. You can name it whatever you want, just like to keep it on brand. And then it'll actually you'll manage that PHUNToken balance in our Phun Wallet mobile application, which should be released in the next couple of weeks. Once we're through kind of all the Play Store and the App Store approval guidance, which we expect to release in the next week or two. So I think that's really exciting for us. So I would watch this video. It'll be my own voiceover. It's about 4 minutes, and it'll kind of give you a visual of what it looks like, and then we can come back and keep talking about it.
For the purposes of this demonstration, we're using a sample mobile app we built called Spoonful, and that's the elegance of what we have developed. Our blockchain-enabled ecosystem can be integrated into any existing mobile applications through our software development kits, known as SDKs, to make adoption seamless. For example, let's say the owner of Spoonful wants to incentivize users to share recipes with friends in hopes of acquiring new users. With our loyalty software development kit integrated, users can be rewarded for taking simple actions, all within the mobile applications they are already familiar with. But because we are delivering a white-labeled blockchain ecosystem, the owners of Spoonful don't have to call them PHUNTokens and can rebrand to something more befitting like Dessert Coin. They can even review their balance all right from their favorite mobile applications. Now that said, users will still need to download our Phun wallet in order to take custody of the rewards they receive, which will be delivered as PHUNTokens. If you don't have Phun wallet already installed, you'll be directed to download it. Phun wallet is the nerve center for our blockchain-enabled ecosystem. Phun wallet allows users to receive not only PHUNTokens as reward for their engagement, but also PHUNcoin as a reward for their data. We have spent over a decade developing immersive mobile applications that are designed around the user experience. So creating your wallet is a snap. In order to drive adoption, we have to begin demystifying crypto and make it easier on people to get started. But that doesn't mean we take shortcuts. We want to ensure absolute security, so be sure to take good care of those seed phrases. Once you've generated your wallet, we'll guide you through a series of prompts to ensure users are aware of everything Phun Wallet wants to do in order to better engage you, but only with your consent, because we take privacy and security very seriously. We want to usher in a new era of own your data. For example, by linking your advertising ID to your wallet, we can connect you with your existing data to create a more personalized experience and give you more control over your data. You'll also be able to earn PHUNcoin and PHUNTokens inside your Phun wallet as you share as much or as little information about yourself as you choose. Think of PHUNcoin as the value of your data, all those things that make you uniquely you. Your background, your education, where you're from, and while this information will never be stored or shared, it helps determine specific audience segments that are more relevant to you. I mean, who hasn't shopped for a car and still seen countless car advertisements months after you already bought a car? That audience segment is no longer valuable to you, and brands don't want to waste their money or your time serving you a meaningless ad. And once you've earned enough PHUNcoin, we'll verify your identity so you can take custody of not only your PHUNcoin, but also any PHUNTokens you've earned along the way as well. Like your favorite banking app, Phun Wallet is something you'll always want to keep handy because it'll aggregate all of the rewards you're receiving. Now, since the user here just got started and identity verification is still processing, there are no linked reward programs. You see, verifying identity is an important know your customer step that helps crack down on fraud and improve security. But once your identity has been verified, the real fun can start. Let's go back to the Spoonful app to see what's changed. As you may remember, we've earned 48 dessert coins so far, but let's share another recipe which should earn us an additional 2 dessert coins. With our balance increased to 50, let's go back to Phun Wallet now that we've verified identity and linked the Spoonful rewards program. By navigating to your token summary, you can see that Spoonful rewards are automatically populated. And while Phun Wallet will make it easy for you to know what rewards you're receiving from what brands, you'll still be able to seamlessly deposit or withdraw the underlying PHUNTokens as well as PHUNcoin at your discretion. Phunware is working hard to blockchain-enable engagement and usher in a new era that sees you truly take control of your data. For years, large technology companies have been collecting, exploiting, and profiting from you and your data. We think it's time to reimagine everything. Stay tuned. Fun for all and all for fun.
We're back. No, and we're back. No, obviously, and I want to say anyone who has made it this far, please drop some questions below. If anything, I think Randall's really kind of connecting the dots on a lot of the kind of Phunware, let's say pillars, if we want. And it's all coming together, which is extremely exciting. And really, I know we can do another video on kind of the future of course, loyalty programs. Really think of a big company that doesn't have a loyalty program. You can't. And this is awesome that you're working with different companies. Hey, this is how we can, number one, make someone go from one area to another, but also they're rewarded. They want to be rewarded, and everything in between. So awesome video so far. Anything else you wanted to cover in general about PHUNToken? I know we're going to get a ton of questions, so I'm sure we'll do a Q&A video coming up, but anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, I think you hit on a really great point, and I think it's a rewards program, but it's not it's not your grandma's rewards program, you know. So when you think about a large brand, they, you know, the finance department doesn't like rewards programs, because every time, let's take Southwest for example, every time I earn a Southwest Rapid reward, they have to keep it on their books as a liability. They have no idea when I'm going to spend it. They exist on these books forever. And so you'll see these programs where these large companies will literally sell these rewards for pennies on the dollar just to move them off their balance sheet, because they will exist there forever. Well, with cryptocurrency, what a cool thing. Think about it. They can actually issue that rapid reward on a blockchain, and they don't have to keep it on their books as a liability anymore. And so that's the kind of really interesting value proposition that we offer enterprises, that by white labeling a blockchain enabled rewards program, you can move that liability off the books, and you can also just give the user, you know, more control over everything they're engaging in, which is really cool. The other thing I would say is just, you know, as you think about, you know, the market in general, you know, a lot of times, you know, this kind of fly by night, you know, get rich quick, you know, that's not the name of our game. You know, we are, you know, our entire goal is to maximize shareholder value in Phunware, publicly traded company. You know, and so when we think of PHunToken, you know, as a utility token, that's what we think of it as. You know, it has utility, but it's no different than Ethereum. You know, so a lot of people want to always ask these questions. You know, when are you going to list it on an exchange? When's it going to be $1? Is it going to reach $10? What can it do? You know, that's not up to us. You know, and that shouldn't be up to any company who is, you know, using a utility token, because it should just have utility. Where the value comes from is not that dissimilar to Ethereum. You know, it just becomes this thought of, hey, if it really does have utility, and as more and more brands want to use this kind of utility, especially if you have a capped supply, then that creates upward price pressure. And so that's not what we promote. You know, we're not promoting returns on investment or anything like that, because that should be regulated security tokens. What we're saying is we have a cryptocurrency that gives you access to basically 12 years of enterprise level, you know, amazing features and functionality. And we think the more brands understand that that kind of approach will drive contextual engagement, which drives profitable behavior, the more and more that want to use our system for that, and the more and more people that expect to be compensated for their engagement and their data, we think that there's going to be a really interesting thing that happens across the market, because we think this will be table stakes, you know, in a couple of years, where, you know, you really got to think about it in this way in order to get people's attention, because they don't have the same loyalty that they once had. You know, people are kind of, well, what have you done for me lately? So, you know, we're excited to be kind of at the forefront of this. We're excited that people are starting to talk about owning their data, you know, getting compensated for their engagement, being a part of that conversation to actually control what they share and how they engage. And we're working like hell to build a platform that gives them the tools to be able to do that, and give them, you know, 100%, you know, give brands 100% first party data that's user opt-in, and really just tangible to what they're trying to do. So PHunToken, you know, it's available to be bought right now. We've launched both of our SDKs. You know, beta SDK is for PHunCoin, which we can talk about in another video. The loyalty SDK is for PHunToken. Both of those are live, and so that's what you saw in the previous demo video that we saw. That was the loyalty SDK. And then we relaunched our buying portal, which is buy.phuntoken.com. And then Phun Wallet is right around the corner. So really excited to see this kind of ecosystem launch, and really begin to kind of, you know, it's a snowball. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of momentum built over the next few months and coming years. So really excited.
Yeah, look, awesome. Thank you for the overview. And I'm sure we'll do an update video, you know, in a few weeks, if we want to call it that, talking about, you know, the ecosystem. But extremely exciting. Obviously, really, you're betting on, hey, are you guys able to close some big enterprises, which is awesome. So, you know, best of luck. Congratulations again on the engagement. That's awesome. And,
Thank
you
you.
know, congratulations on launching PHunToken. But thanks so much. This is an awesome video. And I invite anyone with some questions. We will do an update. We'll do a Q&A, definitely talking some more crypto stuff. But Randall, thanks so much for joining.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Have a good one.